Benjamin, I'm home. Happy anniversary, my love. I got these roses for you.
Oh, how thoughtful of you, Olivia.
What's wrong, Benjamin? Is everything okay?
Oh, everything is just peachy, Olivia. I've come to a decision, and I think it's time we face the truth.
What truth? Benjamin, you're scaring me. What are you talking about?
I have had enough of you. You've always been a burden, holding me back from achieving what I truly deserve. I want a woman who never complains and who only supports my aspirations.
Benjamin, how can you say that? I have always supported you in everything you do. I thought we were a team, working towards our dreams together.
A team? You never understood what it takes to succeed. Your dreams are nothing but distractions, and I refuse to waste any more time on them. I deserve better.
But, Benjamin, I thought our love was stronger than this. I thought we could overcome any obstacle together.
Love won't pay the bills, Olivia. It won't get me to the top of my career. I am done pretending that your aspirations matter. It's time for us to go our separate ways.
I can't believe you're saying this, Benjamin. After all that we've been through, the sacrifices I have made for us, this is how it ends?
It ends because I refuse to settle for any longer. Sign these divorce papers and let's move on with our lives.
My name is Olivia, and I was in my 40s. I lived in New York with my husband, Benjamin. We had embarked on this journey of marriage together, but just a few years into our partnership, our paths had taken different turns. Benjamin expected me to focus solely on our relationship while he pursued his successful career as a realtor. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the pressure began to mount. I found myself burdened with countless household chores, sacrificing my own dreams and ambitions in the process. The weight of responsibility seemed to grow heavier with each passing day. I wasn't happy, and that really affected my well being. What hurt the most was Benjamin's dismissive attitude towards my creative endeavors. He looked down on my desire to start my own art gallery and belittled my lack of formal education. It stung deeply, for I had always possessed a raw talent and a genuine passion for art. Although I had attended some college, circumstances had prevented me from graduating, leaving me feeling inadequate in his eyes. I had always believed that I didn't necessarily need a college degree to succeed in life, but Benjamin strongly disagreed. It was a really stressful and discouraging situation to be in. Despite everything, I chose to suppress all of my negative feelings. I held on to the hope that our love would conquer these differences and bridge the gap between our dreams. Perhaps Benjamin's success had temporarily blinded him to the beauty and greatness of my aspirations, and maybe, just maybe, there was still a chance for him to see the fire within me. Little did I know that in the next few months there would be a series of events that would test the very foundation of our relationship. Things were surely only getting worse. It was a gloomy Tuesday evening, the day that marked our anniversary. I returned home from my routine grocery shopping, holding a vibrant bouquet of roses in my hand. My heart was filled with anticipation, eager to surprise Benjamin and celebrate the years we had spent together. I thought this very special day would help us feel better about our marriage after such a tough time. But as I stepped through the door, my excitement turned into a wave of shock and disbelief. Benjamin, I'm home. Happy anniversary, my love. I got these roses for you.
Oh, how thoughtful of you, Olivia.
Benjamin answered with a sarcastic voice. As I looked at him, I knew something was wrong. There standing before me was my dear husband, with his expressions hardened and his demeanor cold. In his hands were divorce papers which sent a chill down my spine. Confusion flooded my senses, leaving me momentarily speechless. I couldn't believe my own eyes. What's wrong, Benjamin? Is everything okay?
Oh, everything is just peachy, Olivia. I've come to a decision and I think it's time we face the truth.
The truth? Benjamin, you're scaring me. What are you talking about?
I have had enough of you. You've always been a burden, holding me back from achieving what I truly deserve. I want a woman who never complains and who only supports my aspirations.
Benjamin, how can you say that? I have always supported you in everything you do. I thought we were a team, working towards our dreams together.
A team? You've never understood what it takes to succeed. Your dreams are nothing but distractions, and I refuse to waste any more time on them. I deserve better.
But Benjamin, I thought our love was stronger than this. I thought we could overcome any obstacle together.
Love won't pay the bills, Olivia. It won't get me to the top of my career. I am done pretending that your aspirations matter. It's time for us to go our separate ways.
I can't believe you're saying this, Benjamin, after all that we've been through, the sacrifices I have made for us. This is how it ends?
It ends because I refuse to settle for any longer. Sign these divorce papers and let's move on with our lives.
Benjamin's words pierced through my chest like shards of ice. At that moment, his words felt like a sudden betrayal, a painful rejection of everything I had hoped for in our marriage. It was as if the love we once shared had been overshadowed by resentment and unspoken frustrations, and nothing mattered anymore. As I stood there trying to process his words, my mind drifted back to the countless times Benjamin had made me feel so terrible about myself. It wasn't just his disapproval of my creative pursuits, it was the way he belittled my choices, viewing them as insignificant compared to his own. The dreams I had held close to my heart were met with a constant reminder of my shortcomings. I had spent years suppressing my own desires, sacrificing pieces of my soul to ensure the harmony of our relationship. I had hoped that our love would be enough to bridge the gap between our aspirations, but now I realize the toll it had taken on my self-worth. The weight of his expectations had left me feeling small and insignificant, as if my dreams were nothing more than inconveniences standing in the way of his ambitions. At that moment, I couldn't help but question the very foundation of our relationship. Was love meant to be a one-sided compromise, where my dreams were constantly pushed aside? Was it fair to expect me to silence the fire within me for the sake of his comfort? No, it was not. The tears welled up in my eyes, a mixture of sadness and frustration. As I looked at Benjamin, the man I had once loved and trusted, I knew that I couldn't continue living in the shadow of his expectations. With a heavy heart, I set the bouquet of roses aside and stayed silent. Then I walked away. It was the end of our marriage. Realizing that I needed to reclaim my independence and follow my passion, I made a decision that some might consider audacious. At over 40 years old, I enrolled in an art school determined to pursue formal education and breathe life into my life. Stepping into a college campus once again was both exhilarating and daunting. I found myself surrounded by a diverse group of aspiring artists, all eager to learn and grow. As I attended evening classes, my days became so much more exciting. I was juggling my responsibilities at home while devoting myself to the pursuit of my dreams. And it was hard work, but I was so much happier than I was before. The art school provided the perfect platform for me to refine my skills, learn new techniques, and broaden my creative horizons. The weight of household chores and societal expectations no longer held me captive. Instead, I found a sense of purpose thanks to artistic expression. What truly helped my spirit was a supportive community of fellow artists I discovered along the way. They became my pillars of encouragement, offering feedback, guidance, and support. In their eyes, I found reflections of my own aspirations and dreams. Together, we formed a bond that transcended age, background, and personal histories. It was within this nurturing environment that I learned to believe in myself once more. The pursuit of my dreams had become more than just an individual endeavor. It had transformed into a collective journey of resilience and growth. As I immersed myself in this community, I began to let go of the doubts and insecurities that had stayed within me for far too long. I realized that my lack of formal education did not define me. What mattered most was the passion, the dedication, and the commitment to self expression. Just as I was starting to feel a sense of confidence and pride in my journey, life threw me a curveball that shattered my newfound happiness. It was a blow that caught me off guard, leaving me vulnerable and overwhelmed with grief once again. It was incredibly difficult to deal with. Word reached me that Benjamin had a girlfriend, someone who seemed to have been involved with him for much earlier than our divorce. To my disbelief, she decided to pay a visit to my home, with the audacity to claim Benjamin's belongings as her own. Her presence felt like a harsh reminder of my marriage. At that moment, faced with her blatant disrespect, I couldn't help but confront her. The pain and anger surged through my veins. I told her off, my voice trembling with a mix of hurt and indignation. How could she waltz into my life like that?
Oh, Olivia, darling, you should know that I'm much more fun for Benjamin than you ever were. It's not about his career or your lack of support. He simply grew sick of being with you.
How can you say such callous things? We are not even divorced yet, and you're flaunting your relationship with him?
Well, sweetie, that's how it goes. Sometimes people just fall out of love and someone better comes along. Benjamin found that someone in me. You have no right to judge our relationship or undermine the years we have spent together. Oh, come on, Olivia. It's time for you to face the truth. Benjamin is tired of you and your shortcomings. I offer him something you never could. In fact, he was in love with me even before he got a divorce from you.
What? What is that supposed to mean?
I was the reason why he left you, Olivia. I'm the one he chose. I'm the one who makes him happy. You can cling to your dreams all you want, but the reality is that Benjamin has moved on.
Her response cut through the air like a blade. I felt so many emotions swirling within me: heartbreak, betrayal, and loss. The realization that Benjamin had already moved on before our divorce was even finalized was a painful truth. After insulting me, she turned away with a smile of victory. I was left devastated. Determined not to let the betrayal and deceit break me, I mastered the strength to face the painful truth head on. I began to follow Benjamin discreetly, hoping to uncover the extent of his infidelity. After just a few days, what I discovered shook me to the core. I witnessed firsthand the depth of his betrayal. He had been having intercourse with his mistress at various properties, taking advantage of his clients' homes for their disgusting encounters. Benjamin had engaged in such unethical and despicable behavior without anyone knowing. Maybe that was how they were meeting each other even before my divorce, and perhaps that had somehow turned into a disgusting habit. I couldn't quite wrap my head around their behaviors, but I knew that I had to do something about this. This time for my revenge had finally come my way. I bided my time, patiently waiting for the perfect moment to make my move, and it presented itself when they arrived at the property of a renowned and influential lawyer. As they stepped onto the lawyer's estate, I knew exactly what I had to do. With trembling hands, I dialed Benjamin's company, ready to expose his misconduct. I described in detail the inappropriate use of client properties for personal affairs, emphasizing the violation of trust and ethical breach. The receptionist on the other end of the line listened attentively, her voice reflecting a mix of concern and disbelief. I provided her with the necessary information, including dates, times, and location, all of which painted a disgusting picture of Benjamin's actions. When I hung up the phone, I was still trembling. Would my call lead to the necessary consequences for Benjamin's unethical behavior? Only time would tell, but I also felt a glimmer of hope, hope that justice would prevail, and hope that I could finally find peace in knowing that Benjamin could not get away with his disgusting behaviors. Weeks later, I finally found out what happened to Benjamin and his mistress. The complaint I made against him with his company had not gone unheard. As a result, the firm took swift action and he was fired. It was a blow to Benjamin's professional standing and his income. But it did not end there. News of Benjamin's behavior reached the ears of the lawyer whose property had been made us of. Fueled by a sense of justice and a desire to hold him accountable, she filed a lawsuit against him. The legal battle absolutely drained Benjamin's resources, leaving him broke. The consequences of his actions finally caught up with him, forcing him to face a gloomy future. Nobody would want to hire him anymore, knowing what he had done. He would be struggling to make ends meet. Meanwhile, I focused my energy on pursuing my own dreams. I channeled my determination into my studies, pushing myself to excel in an artistic education. The hard work paid off, and with honor and pride, I graduated from art school and armed with newfound skills and a sense of accomplishment. Supported by my fellow artists, I took a leap of faith and opened my very own art gallery. The space became a heaven for artists and art enthusiasts like me. The walls were filled with vibrant paintings, sculptures. As the doors of my gallery swung open, I welcomed visitors from all walks of life. The joy and fulfillment I experienced were immeasurable. The gallery became more than just a physical space. It became a testament to the resilience and unwavering spirit of a woman who refused to let her dreams be crushed. With a heart full of gratitude and a soul ablaze with passion, I knew that my story was not just about overcoming adversity, it was a celebration of the extraordinary strength that lies within every human being. And as I stood in that gallery, the embodiment of my dreams, I knew that my journey had only just begun. I was so hopeful and excited for my future for the first time in forever. Who knows, my love only truly began in my 40s.